Imagine yourself in a tropical forest. The dirt is soft beneath your feet, a mixture of soil, leaves, and moss. As you make your way deeper into the forest, breathe in the fresh air, filling your lungs completely. Now exhale. Breathe out all the air, the gross, dirty, filthy air, the air of the city of tigers. The tiger is curious about you, and it approaches. It's wearing a party hat and whistling a sea shanty. He invites you to a disco party, and all the dirty city tigers, and they...
This isn't working.
I'm Kate. I'm a licensed therapist, and we need to talk about meditation. For some reason, a lot of people are thinking that meditating means sitting in a dark room and turning off your mind. But what if I were to tell you it could be a lot more than that? Why am I doing this video? Why are we talking about meditation? We're talking about meditation because during the pandemic, people went batshit crazy. When I say batshit crazy, I mean they were balled up with all their anxiety and depression and whatever else was coming out sideways. They didn't have any distractions. They couldn't go out to drink with their friends. They couldn't go out and be social. They couldn't be around family. They had no support. Me as a therapist, the only thing I could tell them was, hey, you can meditate at home. For our time period, it was really helpful. We had a bunch of apps, we had a bunch of tools available to them. But the more I told people that, the more I realized it still wasn't working.
Well, for the average human being, what happens when people meditate is a bunch of nothing, and people aren't comfortable with nothing, and so their anxiety rises. Your discomfort rises, everything gets really agitating really fast, which is not what you want to tell a stressed out person to do. You don't really want to tell a stressed out person, hey, I want you to get more agitated. You either need to back up and teach them the principles of meditating, which is going to take a long time, and they're going to be frustrated because they're not going to understand why we're doing this in the first place. But you can either do that, or you can find something that actually works. So why not find something that actually works for someone with their system and the knowledge that they have?
So in this video, we're gonna talk about what you can do besides sitting in a room silently. But first, we need to talk about where meditation even started and the history behind it.
All right, this is how it actually went. Ages ago, when our ancestors were hunter-gatherers and they were collected around the fire, they used to gaze at the flames. And this wasn't just passing time, they were actually meditating, finding peace and understanding in the fire's glow. This simple act was probably the first step in meditation's long journey. As time rolled on, meditation got more complex. It became part of religious rituals and ceremonies, helping people connect with something bigger than themselves. Then came a plot twist. Scientists started looking at meditation, and guess what? They found it's actually good for us. It calms our minds and can even change our brain chemistry.
You know a really good meditation on the map? The Beatles. Yeah, you heard me correctly. The Beatles.
It all started when the Beatles met this guy. Fascinating Wikipedia article, by the way. They traveled to India learning about transcendental meditation. And this wasn't just a fad for them, it became part of their music and lives, and influenced a lot of their songs. And guess what? The world noticed. When the Beatles embraced meditation, it suddenly became more than just an ancient practice. It turned into a global sensation. Go figure. But everyone wanted a piece of this newfound calm and clarity. Thanks to the Beatles, meditation stepped out of the shadows into the spotlight. It showed that meditation wasn't just for monks. It was for everyone. It was for anyone. Now meditation's everywhere. It's not just a spiritual thing, it's a part of everyday life. There's apps for it and classes you can take. Now it's mainstream, helping us all find a bit of calm and clarity in our busy lives.
Listen, there are a lot of different types of meditation. There's spiritual meditation, there's focused meditation, there's movement meditation and mantra meditation, there's transcendental meditation and progressive relaxation, there's loving kindness meditation, there's visualization meditation, there's mindfulness meditation, and there's so many different meditations. I've done who knows how many meditations in my my lifetime, and I can't even keep them straight. How can anyone keep them straight? It's like these bubbles. There's one, and they're everywhere. How? I don't know where the individual bubble is. My hands are getting wrinkly. I'm gonna get out of here.
So, I didn't know anything about meditation until I was in grad school for counseling, which was many, many years into my life. And we had a class. It was not a meditation class, but we did spend the first 15 minutes of every single class practicing a different meditation. And I mean, there were like, I don't know, 30 classes in a semester. I don't know how many ever weeks you can calculate there. That's a lot of different meditations. We did meditations where we sat and quiet. We did guided meditations. We did walking meditations, which I loved. I loved the movement ones. My classmates hated them. They were like, I feel so awkward. Why am I walking slowly? I feel stupid. And I was like, I'm in my best element. Yeah. Anyway, it's not for everyone, but it was for me. But then my classmates loved the Tibetan bowl. I'll put it up on the screen or something, but there's this metal bowl. I can picture it in my mind very clearly. And you can like, it has like a drumstick. I don't know what to call it, but you like ring it around, kind of like when you lick your finger on a crystal glass and it's like, wow, wow, wow. It does that, it sings to you. And then every now and then we'd be like in silence and he would ring it, he would just hit it and it would go, boom. And I swear that drove up my anxiety so much. Every single time that thing rang, I was like, ooh, like shook out of my peacefulness. But my classmates loved it. This is where I learned I thought I was good at meditation and I wasn't. Because I was happily over here. I didn't have a monkey in my brain. I didn't have anything rattling around. It was just clear white room. Nothing's there. I observe a thought. It comes, goes, whatever. Everything's fine and dandy. Apparently that's not right. My supervisor was like, Caitlin, you're still supposed to stay present in your body. And I was like, what? He was like, meditation isn't dissociation. And I was like, ooh, that's a thought. Let me come back to you on that one. And throughout the weeks, I started to learn more about how meditation is staying present in your body while clearing your mind. And that was new to me, very new to me. And I tried. I did not do very well. My supervisor was like, okay, let's try some different things. So we tried Tai Chi. That was okay. We tried sitting in chairs. I got a lot of back pain. And then he was like, here's a kneeling stool. So I sat on the ground in a kneeling stool. That's apparently a thing. Nothing really seemed to work. And I started to realize, I don't think I like this meditation thing. I don't think it's for me. Running is my favorite form of meditation, and I think it's because of EMDR. I learned about this through training that I took, but EMDR stands for Eye Movement Desensitization Reprocessing. It's a form of trauma therapy. And what I learned is that bilateral stimulation, which is this activation of both sides of your body or your brain via some sensory input, whether that's tactile through movement, whether that's auditory through music, or whether that's visual through watching fingers or whatever, a ball, I don't know. This back and forth stimulation of the body manipulates the brain in a very special way. It allows me to get in a really meditative and healing state. How that works is when we're stressed, our autonomic nervous system is activated. This is the part of our nervous system that makes us go into that fight or flight response. Opposite side of it, or the balancing side of it, is the parasympathetic nervous system. This is what tells our body we're safe and we can rest and digest. So we can't rest or digest if a lion is chasing us. Duh, that makes sense. But what do we do if we're already activated in our stress? Well, we can manipulate our body, and I do this through running because that's what feels most natural to me. And by manipulating our body, we can shift the state. We can shift back into the parasympathetic nervous system being activated and our rest and digest system being in charge. On top of that, bilateral stimulation also helps both our left and right hemispheres of the brain connect, and this releases some neurotransmitters that are beneficial, like serotonin and dopamine. So really, running is just my form of bilateral stimulation, and this is what helps me the most. When I run, I feel at peace, and I feel the most relaxed. My body is stressed but my mind isn't. And maybe that's what makes it work, is that I'm working my body in a way that allows my mind to slow down. When my mind slows down, I'm able to practice the mindfulness techniques. And so this helps me get into a more mindful state. We've talked about a lot today. We've talked about therapy concepts, science, you name it. And I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted. I need some tea. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're gonna have to explore a lot. You're gonna have to try all the different types of meditation. And I mean, you don't have to, but you should. You should explore all the different types of meditation. Find out what works for you. My advice for you is to make decisions quickly and quit early. If it's not working, don't force yourself into a box. Don't force it to happen. If it's really making your skin crawl, don't do it. That's simple as that. My other advice is pay attention to your strengths. What do you really enjoy? Maybe start with some sensory stuff. Like if you are a visual learner, maybe painting would be a good meditative activity for you. Maybe a guided imagery would be a good activity for you. If you're an auditory learner or you really like music, then listen to bilateral music. They make that. There's playlists on Spotify. You can find it. If you like taste, then when you're eating or when you're making special treats, then taste them. Pay attention to them. Savor them. I mean, you are begging to be a great wine taster or chocolate taster here. You could be the best. It could be your meditation. Play off of your strengths, acknowledge your weaknesses, and quit early. If you came to this video seeking my favorite meditations and just a list of my favorite meditations, I'm sorry, I can't give this to you. I was never going to give this to you. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. The reason why I didn't is because my favorite meditation might not be your favorite meditation. And my husband's favorite meditation is definitely not my favorite meditation. And like, we're all different, and it would be wildly oversimplifying a very complex, which is why you're here, complex subject like meditation to just say do XYZ. But what I'm trying to do is teach you how to find what's right for you. We did talk about a lot of different things, and it might seem like it's not related at all. And if you're an expert in this and it doesn't seem related, maybe I'm stupid, I don't know. But in my mind, they are all related, and I think we're defining meditation poorly in society. We're defining it as one thing when it can be many different things if it gives us the same sense of calm and reflection. Many people think that meditation is one thing. They think it's sitting down and doing guided meditations and practicing being calm and still, but it's not just about that. You can be whatever you want to be as long as you're achieving the peaceful state of mind. That's what we're chasing here. We're chasing a way of being, and that to me is meditation. And you might tell me, Kate, I've done all these things, I still don't like meditation. In which case, kudos to you for doing the work. Good job. Also, be nice to yourself. You're not a failure. That doesn't mean it doesn't work for you. We're practicing the acceptance piece here. We're practicing that it takes time and there needs to be patience. And, oh, this is a therapy answer, but you might not be ready for it yet. That's a hard concept to explain, but sometimes you have to be ready to receive change in your life to be able to actually change. That will be a totally different video. But if you are ready to change and you can be patient with yourself to be ready to receive change, then you should see some success over time. You can't make me talk about meditation anymore. I can't do it. But really, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you probably find some value from my content. You could like and subscribe. I'd like to see you again. But if you're dealing with something else, if you're dealing with something like failure or grief, you should check out my other video here. I might have some things for you. But thank you for being here today. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.